And for those who out there listening, when they do listen, I'm here with Talasia. How you doing today?
I'm pretty good. I have no complaints. It's nice to meet you, Jimmy.
Ah, yes, nice meeting
And
you as well.
hearing all that you do, that's really, really dope. Congratulations.
I
I
appreciate it.
wish you the best of success.
I appreciate that sincerely. But yeah, but we here for you today. We here for let the listeners and the audience know everything you got going on, how you got your start in music, and also the dope content that you put out as well. So my
Yeah, I'm
first question,
excited.
absolutely, my first question would be to you. How did you get your start in music and your rise and where do you come from and everything like that?
Yeah, so I am from New Jersey. I was born in South Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
born and raised. And my start in music, I grew up around it. My mom sings and she has always sung. I grew up listening to her kind of write her own music and do her thing. And, she raised me in church. So I grew up on a church choir, just, around the church culture of music.
Yeah.
And also, when I was younger, because my mom's into music, she got me all these like beautiful albums that I just still listen to this day. And I heard her play so many classics from so many great artists. So I was really, really surrounded by, I would say, like a versatile amount of genres of music. And that's where my love came from. That's where my passion came from. And my
Absolutely.
mom always said I started singing when I started talking, and that was at 2. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
been a little
good.
minute.
That's good to hear. Now, me personally, I always love to hear. Like I even ask my mom to this day, like, what music were you listening to back in the day? So like came on MC Light came on the news today, I believe, and my mom was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is my favorite rapper." So what type of music was you listening to like that your mom put you on back in the day?
Yeah,
Like
my
what
mom,
albums and everything?
she had great taste. She bought me Brandy's A Full Moon album.
Yeah,
I
great
had
album.
great. I listened to it up and down, back and forth. She had Beyonce's early days when she was in Destiny's Child. So I had all of those early albums. She, of course, because we listened to gospel music too. So she had Kiera Shared. And then on Saturdays was always a cleanup day. But in my house, we clean up and we play music. That's what my mom always did. And
Hmm.
she had Deborah Cox playing and Anita Baker and Tyrese back in the day. Those are some of the people that I grew up listening to. So like I really had it all the best.
Oh yeah, those albums will put some soul in you too, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah, so describe South Jersey because I hear a lot about New Jersey, I feel like my first instance is kind of, it's kind of off subject, but my first instance with New Jersey was actually Jersey Shore. And then once I traveled a little
Okay,
bit towards that area, I wasn't necessarily in Jersey, but I was in the
hmm,
DMV area and there was a lot of people from Jersey there and all they gave it was high praise.
yeah.
So, like describe like what it's like growing up out there.
It really honestly depends on the part of Jersey that you live in. So like
Hmm.
South Jersey, you have like a good mix of everything because Atlantic County, you got the beach and the boardwalk and Atlantic City and casinos and all that stuff. And I think that's what people kind of know Jersey as. They just go to Atlantic City. Or like
Hmm.
some people know like Newark, which is North Jersey, and they really have redone Newark a lot. So people really know it for that. But like there's different parts of it. You got parts that have farms and
Right.
real rural areas and stuff like that. And then you got like city parts and real busy. You got Camden, real busy. So it's like I would say it's like, different and unique and depending on where you're from. Where are you from, Jimmy?
I'm from
If you don't mind me asking.
I'm from the south suburbs of Chicago, so I stay like 20
Okay.
minutes outside the city.
Okay, I've heard
Hmm.
some stuff about Chicago. We could talk about that because I feel like it's always cold out there. But in
Very
New
much so.
Jersey,
It's cold
you
now.
get a good you get a good taste of all the seasons, like summer, spring, fall, winter. So yeah, I would say it's pretty dope growing up here.
Okay, so if I was taking a trip to Jersey, what would be the first recommendation that you would give me? It could be a place to eat, a place to go, a site to see. What would it be?
Oh yeah. Well, you gotta hit Kelsey and Kim's. in Atlantic City for
Kelsey
sure.
and Kim.
It's a soul food spot. Yeah, you gotta hit there. They always have like some live band playing, music playing. It's just a good atmosphere. And then the food is like really, really good. So you gotta hit Kelsey and Kim. I definitely say like if you've never been to Jersey, you gotta hit the boardwalk. It's a must have. You can't come to Jersey and not hit the boardwalk. So go to Lake City, hit the boardwalk. It just really depends on what you're into. So like I'm a food girl. I could tell you all the good food spots and stuff to go to. I could tell you some good churches to go to. But
Absolutely.
that's really about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm more like
Uh,
a scenic girl. So I'm going to like the wildlife parks and stuff like that. Those are my type of attractions in Jersey. So it just really depends on what you're into. And then I can point you to some right spots. But all the food spots, got you.
oh yeah, everything you just recommended right up my alley. So I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Now back to the music. When did you get your first like start in actually recording and like dropping songs and everything?
Mhm. So I think like at first we were just like myself and Quentin, we were just like writing songs, and I don't know if we quite thought about the purpose of them. Like we were writing songs from just our heart, songs that he remembered since he was a kid, songs that I always wanted to write since I was a kid.
Hmm.
And, we decided one time just to put out one of our songs, which was our first song, Rejoice. But before that, we were in the studio since like 2012 playing around with Junie, who is my brother. He is my also one of my producers. And so like we kind of just been playing around in this for a little bit and building on it. And when we decided to take it serious was kind of like when we put out Rejoice. We kind of like really perfected it, got it mixed and mastered, and we put that out. And then after we put out Rejoice, it was kind of like the feedback we got, and everybody was like, y'all got to keep going. We want more. And so we decided to just keep going, put out more. We have a lot of music that we've already written. So it's kind of like we're just beginning, even though we've been in it for a little
Hmm.
bit. Um, we're just getting started. So I think that that's the exciting part.
Gotcha. Now Rejoice came out not too long ago, right?
Yeah. So we put out Rejoice in 2018.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because when I had searched you up, that was a song that came up. So
Yeah.
you mentioned like you said Quentin, right? That's what you said.
Yeah.
And,
Quentin
and you
Shaw.
said your brother, right? As well as
Donald.
your producer. Okay,
Yeah.
so it sounds you are very family oriented and like you're close
For
knit
sure.
with your music thing. So how is it being that way? Because
Yeah.
it's a lot of artists, and it's good to have this type of musical range and within your family and your close circle because a lot of artists
For
have to
sure.
venture out, go to studios and everything, but you got it right there in the family. So
For sure.
how does that help your creative process?
Let me tell you something. I'm so blessed to have them, and I couldn't do what I do if I did not have them. Especially Quentin, we have been in this together for a very, very long time, writing music and just kind of like building on top of what we've done already in the past. And Quentin really is like the brains a lot behind our operation that we have going on. We've grown so much since we started, and honestly, everybody grew up in church, so we
Right.
all have like that bond. We played together, we kind of grew up around each other. So this is a very family oriented thing. Like most of my band is my family. And I have like I think it's 12 of them. My
Oh yeah.
background singers, we're all tight knit. So it's like, this is really a family operation. Everybody on my team really is my family. My mom, my cousins, they're the ones who help me behind the scenes, my grandmother. So I'm really so blessed to have just so much support and so much talent and gift around me because, like you said, a lot of artists have to go outside and like seek for these people and try to find different producers and stuff like that. And God has really just surrounded me with every single thing that I need. And like I said, Quentin is really the brains behind a lot of what we do. Even when it comes to our concerts and stuff like that, me and him really work together on everything, the concepts to our songs, and he comes up with the majority of all the music and then kind of sings stuff out and lets Junie kind of do his thing from there. But like it's the team behind me that is really how I do what I do, honestly. And the favor of God, of course, but like the team that he gave me is none like them.
Absolutely. I've loved to hear stories like that. And the best part about everything that you told me, God is first, so that's amazing.
Always,
That is very
always.
amazing. So with your genre of music and everything, and you coming up so close knit in church, do you find it like kind of, so say, okay, me personally, not even me personally, but say if I never went to church or something like that, do you sometimes
Yeah,
find that that like connection, like, so if I need to hear this music and I'm like, and I need something to believe, you know what I'm saying, because that's pretty
yeah.
much what the genre comes from. Do you find it easy to make, like, like the crossover to somebody who's not even in that realm of church?
That's
Or
a great question. That's such a good question. I've never been asked that before, so I love this.
Mhm.
But yeah, so like I said, I grew up in church. Most of my family grew up in church, but not all of my family. And
Mhm.
majority of my friends that I grew up around don't go to church. And that was a lot of my experience when I grew up because a lot of my friends and my peers didn't go to church. It brought up a lot of debates and conversations about why I believe in God and stuff like that. But I'm able to connect with them because, like, I grew up in church, but I didn't really get a relationship with God until I was older. I was
Right.
kind of doing what I was told up until I had a choice. You know what I'm saying? And it
Exactly.
wasn't until I had a choice that I actually got a relationship with God. So, like, this isn't a religious thing. We all live in this world and we all go through the same things and experience the same things. And even God knows that and addresses that. And I think that understanding the love of God, you can relate with anybody, whether you go to church or not, because it's not a church thing, it's a relationship thing. And, God's main thing is love. So I think that if you
Absolutely.
have like love in your heart, you can really relate with anybody. You know what I mean? Because that's really what he wants us to spread is love. That's the first commandment. That's the most important thing out of all the things that he listed. So it's like, if you have love in your heart and you have the love of God, you can relate with anybody. And I think that music is such a big part of your soul relation. You know what I mean? You can really make anybody feel any type of way with music. It's scientifically proven. So it's
Absolutely.
like, if you understand that and you understand that, like, I can inspire you, I can get you to think on a bigger level by connecting your soul with the sound and then giving you a message that you can feel. You know what I mean? And I think that that's how I relate the two. Like, when I'm writing, I'm thinking about my experiences, natural experiences that I've gone through, and like how my perspective has changed, how God has allowed me to grow. And I'm just trying to spread that message to other people. And I think that the way that we do it, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. And it's so much love in it that you can't help but to feel it. Love covers all. Even if you're angry, I can make you feel love just by showing you love. So it's like, that's what we're on. That's how we're building. And that's our intentions behind everything.
Absolutely. And I love, from your answer, I love that you said you had the choice as an adult to keep your relationship with God steady, because I talk to friends and peers all the time and they talk about that same thing where they was grown up in church, born in church, but they stopped going, everything like that. But one thing I never hear anybody say was, okay, it was my choice to keep that relationship with God steady. Whether they did it in their personal time or not, a lot of people don't understand that you do have that choice, and that's something that you can act upon too. Because a lot of times people get iffy, with the word and everything and their belief, but it's still right there waiting for you to grasp it whenever you want.
Yeah. And I think that the most important thing is, like, we live in an information type of generation. Like, it's
Hmm.
so much information at your fingertips. So it's like, it's not just like the word, but like God literally can talk to you through different avenues. Like, it's not a religious thing where it's built on church. It's literally, like I said, relationship. And when you're going through this life and you're going through struggles and stuff like that, even when you think about it, like when the world gets tragedies that happen, 9/11, what do they say? Like, we're praying for this country, we're praying for New York City, we're praying. Everybody
Exactly.
always goes back to praying. And I think that we got to realize that this is a universal thing. Like, God is literally the person that we all run back to when things happen. So it's not a religious thing. It's just like, this is relationship. It's just real life. And I think that once you relate to somebody on that level, it is what it is. Yeah, we all make choices in life. And I think that when you're old enough and you realize that you have a choice, you weigh the pros and cons out. And I think that I did that for myself and I chose God. And so that was my choice, but I still can relate to somebody who didn't choose God for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Because it's a personal thing. They'll get there in time if it's meant for them to get there, if they choose to walk in it. But I'm not a forceful person. We could just talk like friends. So that's how I feel like you can relate to people. just normal stuff, like we're talking now.
Absolutely, and it's always important to use your gift to relate to people. Like I'm glad the things that you're really speaking on. I'm glad that you actually getting a chance to speak on it. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, okay, gotcha. I thought you jumped out or something, but yeah, the things that you're
No,
speaking on, I'm glad that you're getting a chance to speak on because just with me personally, a little thing throughout my week, I just been noticing things here and there, and I always been telling myself, especially through this pandemic, a lot of people have it hard. Every like I real
mm.
life noticed that through this pandemic, I don't know one person that's not going through anything at all. Everybody got something going on. But
Everybody was affected.
absolutely. And through that,
Yeah,
what do you through like hard times, you might have your own personal things or you might have the global issue that we just had and that we're still going through. Even though the pandemic is ended, the after effects of it is far from finished. I'm gonna throw
yeah.
quotations on the ended because I don't believe it's ended because it's a lot of irreversible damage. So but
Every
like
other day is something, monkeypox,
absolutely.
something.
Absolutely. Now, through your hardships, what keeps you motivated?
Yeah. Um, somebody just asked me this the other day, and I think like it's a complex answer just because it's not just one thing that I can
Hmm.
say keeps you pushing. Because if we're being real, like sometimes life can really hit you in ways where it's like you don't want to keep going. Like you kind of just want
Absolutely.
to take a break, cut off from the world type thing. You know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
think that like for me, one of the things that I always come back to is like my purpose. I know what my purpose is, and I think that understanding that my purpose also affects and impacts other people, I want to see them win so bad. And I want to see, people be able to be positively impacted by whatever God has for me to give to them. So much so that I feel like I got to keep going. Like it's not a choice for me. And I think that I've been through so many things in life already to the point where I feel like for me, because everything is built on a spiritual aspect because
Hmm.
I understand that even the universe kind of operates on a frequency that like the energy that you put out, it will come back to you, like just in any regard, because that's literally how God created it to be. And so I understood by going through some things and kind of failing a couple of times, I kind of learned that the formula is like the manifestation of what you say out your mouth. It doesn't matter kind of what's going on around you, but what you speak and what you believe and what you keep working towards, it has to manifest back. That's the energy that you're putting out into the world, and it has to come back somehow. Some people call it karma, biblical wise, they will call it reaping and sowing, but it's the same aspect. So, kind of like going through things in life, I keep going because I don't have a choice. And I know that me pushing through and wanting, the heart of me wants to see somebody else win. God's going to favor me and honor me, and He's going to make the ways for me. It might not be easy sometimes, but He's going to make the way, some way, somehow. So that's just how I think about life. And I don't give myself a choice. It's like, we're going to do this because we're not taking shortcuts. And I believe in doing everything 100%, working in excellence. Like, that's what I was taught. So that's kind of how I put into perspective of like going through stuff. We all gonna go through stuff. Life is not going to spare anybody. So it's like it's the perspective of how you go through it. You gonna go through easy mindset wise, or you gonna make it hard on yourself. So yeah.
Absolutely. And you spoke on the power of the tongue. I don't think people really understand how important that is. Like I remember I had a
Mm.
conversation with my buddy a long time ago because I'm a writer. So
Yeah.
I got to a point, I feel like I got to a point in writing, especially when I got older, because I always figured myself, I kind of grew up nonchalant due to circumstances. But like when I hit
Yeah.
like 19, that's when I felt like a rush of emotions. And like that's when I feel like I got to a point where I was an okay writer enough to start my journey. But like instantly I seen
Mm-hmm.
that the stuff that I was writing, like I literally seen it come to life. So like that helped me like chart everything different and it changed my whole thought pattern. So like I
Yeah.
don't think people really understand how important manifestation is. And I'm gonna just
Yeah.
I'm gonna just note it right here. This is a great interview. This is something I want people to actually listen to because like things like this it actually needs to be discussed while we on journeys such as our own.
For sure. For sure. Manifestation is so real, and I don't think that I would be where I'm at had I not had the confidence to speak what I knew, speak what I've seen,
Absolutely.
and reaffirm what I know that God told me. So it's like, I walked in those steps, no matter what it looked like, no matter what I was faced with, no matter how many broke times came. I believed in it and I walked in it, and I believe that that's what has caused God to favor me and me to be able to be successful in a couple of things. And I'm still working and I'm still believing and I'm still going because there's just so much to do. And like I said, there's so many people that I want to be able to like bless, like real life bless. Like I seen a post the other day, and it was somebody saying that 28 families this month was about to be evicted from their homes, and I was able to like pay their back rent and pay the rent for the rest of the year so that they can just get themselves back on track. And honest to goodness, that's the heart of like just what I want to be able to do. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like just being able to like spread that love in that type of way, be a resource, be an answer to other people. Like I feel like God's going to favor me in a way that I'm able to do it. And that's going to come through whatever vein that comes through. But I definitely believe like that's the heart of what anybody should have that just wants to like be able to help people and do things for people, inspire people. And it doesn't always have to be financially, but just the heart to like want to be able to change their perspective, to give them the understanding that you have the power to speak your future. Like that opens so many doors for people, like just understanding that, you know what I'm saying? So I think that life journey is my calling and my purpose. So that's where I'm at with things. I'm trying to like, really, really change people's minds about just what they're able to accomplish in life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. Now, you got the single I seen you've been pushing for some time. Everybody Gonna See, correct?
Yeah. Yep. I just put that out last November, actually. So yeah, that's my latest single. We just dropped the music video literally 2 weeks ago. So
Oh yeah, I
I'm
gotta check
excited
out the
about it.
video.
Yeah.
I heard the audio, but I gotta check out
Yes.
the video. So talk
On
about
YouTube.
like, cause one thing I always notice when I go back and check people music, I always look for the date it was released, and I look at how effective the push is being, especially if it's been out for some time and you
Yeah.
still got it going, cause that's something that I feel like that falls by the wayside these days. Actually pushing your product, especially
Yes.
if you put so much time and effort in it. So talk about like the creation of the song and like what does it mean to you? Because it seems like a special one.
Yes. So Everybody Gonna See is my baby. That is the song that I've always wanted to write since I was a kid. And I mentioned that earlier. Growing up as a church kid, it wasn't always cool. It wasn't always trendy. And like when I grew up, I was getting made fun of so hard. They was roasting me in school so bad. But I've always been very, very confident, especially when I believe in something. Like that's just what I believe in, open mindedly. Like, I'm open to other people's perspectives and stuff like that. But when it comes to God, he proved himself. So like, people used to be like, why do you believe in God? And I used to tell them or whatever, and they used to just clown me like, you can't even see this man. Like you can't even see this man. Where's the proof? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like
People
I
say,
always was faced with those arguments, and yeah, they would get disrespectful with it and everything. Like, so I said, one day I'm gonna make a song, and it's gonna be big bragging on God energy. Like, I was coming in your face with it, and for me, like I'm a big jokester, and I'm like really ratchet, and I like all different types of genres and stuff like that. And so like I decided to have fun with it, but yeah, I was gonna make a song like bragging on God, and I always told Quentin, like, I heard this arpeggiator sound in Justin Timberlake when I was like on my way to Christian school. Crazy, right? On the Christian school bus. But they was
mm-hmm,
playing Justin Timberlake. And they was Timberland had this arpeggiator in the background. And I always like was musically inclined. So I always remembered it. When I got older, I told Quentin, I said, I need that sound. Like we had to go listen to the song, find it. And then I let him listen to it. And I was like, I need that sound. I need you to make it like this. And literally like him and Junie got in the studio and they just put it together. And I already had this song kind of written out because, I kind of knew how I wanted it to ride on the beat. And then I kind of made my verses how I wanted them to drop and all the backgrounds and everything. I kind of had it in my head written out on paper. So I was ready to go. And they
mm-hmm.
got in the studio and they did this track and literally just like blew my mind. They just made it 10 times better than I ever thought it could be. So when it came time to record it, it was fun for me. Like I was in there like everybody gonna see, just having fun because it was fun for me. But I was like bragging on God big time, and I was proud of it. So like, yeah, it was a fun project. It was my baby. I'm proud of it, and I worked on the music video for a year before we even was able to shoot it and put it out and stuff like that. So like it definitely took a lot of money, a lot of time. I released it the same day that I had my concert, which was last November the 4th, and that was really big. And
Oh
so,
yeah,
yeah, it's been a long time coming and a lot of money spent and a lot of effort and a lot of thought put into it. So, yeah, I'm pushing it hard and I'm proud of it. It's my second single out, second video. I'm like, I'm proud of the growth. Like, I go back and look at Rejoice and I go back and look at this and I'm like, you growing, sis. Got to keep going, but you growing. So yeah, I'm proud of it.
absolutely. And it's it's uplifting through your journey, and it's uplifting through what you actually saying in the song. So you really can't beat that feeling that
Yeah, for
the
sure.
feeling
Like,
that it gives you. You
yeah,
know,
it definitely gives me a good feeling. And like, I'm sure about what I'm talking about. So, like I said, it's fun to sing. We do it live. We've been doing it live for a couple of years now. So, a lot of the people around here know it and they sing it with us and they really support us. So, like, God is really blessing us. And I'm enjoying the journey. I will say that
absolutely. Keep enjoying it.
for
Keep.
sure.
So how is it performing like with the live band and everything like that?
It's my favorite. Somebody asked me, "Do you prefer the studio or live?" And I would say live because like everything is different live. When I grew up, my dad took me to one of my first Beyonce concerts ever, and
Hmm.
like one of the things that I noticed was like her live sets were so different than her actual studio songs. They
Hmm.
had mixes and changes and samples and drops and transitions, and I was like amazed by it to the point where I was like, "We can't play games when I always knew I was gonna be doing my own music one day. I just didn't know how it was gonna come out. But that's exactly the formula that we do live. Like we spend time coming up with how to rework our music and our live sets and different things to, put in our sets. Like last time we incorporated Bobby Brown and everybody knows every little step I take. So like they were just rocking with us and it's it's no other feeling like playing with your family, being able to uplift other people and have fun. That's what we do live. We have fun. My last concert was lit. It was a party. We had a good time. We praised God. We had DJs there. It was lit. It was totally lit.
Absolutely. I came from a concert like I want to say it was June. I think it was a musical event for a Chicago-based media brand and production company called Lyrical Lemonade. And one of the acts
Okay.
they had was Wiz Khalifa. And Wiz Khalifa dropped this mixtape like I want to say like eighth grade freshman year, so like 09, 2010. He dropped this mixtape called Cushion Orange Juice. Wiz Khalifa is a big
Okay.
smoker and everything like that. So yeah, he
Yeah.
dropped Cushion Orange Juice. And when he was playing one song on there, and like I heard this tape, and I've been listening to it my whole life. But when he played it live, it changed everything. It like brought so much nostalgia back, and I forgot like how
Yeah.
good live performances is. Because a lot of times when you go to
Hmm.
hip hop concerts, you don't necessarily see people actually performing live performances.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
definitely a different feeling for a spectator, and I know it's a different feeling to be an artist and you got a live band with you. It kind of brings
Yeah.
it brings the feels out. I would
Yeah,
say.
we literally have everything. We have a live band, backup singers, we got dancers. It's the whole shebang. And like literally it feels like a family unit when we come together and we're preparing for it. Like we rehearse months and months and months ahead. We literally are preparing for our next concert next year right now. So it's like
Oh yeah,
it's so much fun to just build together and like just that season of really, really locking in and work trying to get it done in excellence is like our thing. So like it's fun. It's fun to build on what you did last time and like really like you said, our thing is like we know how music makes people feel. We want you to feel it. When you're at our concerts, we do feel good music. That's literally the music I make is feel good music. So it's like it's really dope to do it live with your family and to engage with other people and to just, feed off of their energy.
absolutely. Now for a person who never heard of you, like just somebody you just can walk up to on the street, and you probably promoting your music, or you just stand to yourself. For a person who never heard of you, what would you recommend to them? I know you say you got two singles out. Would you tell them like come to a show, check out my single across the streaming platforms, check out my video? What would be your first recommendation to get a unique listener?
First recommendation. Hmm, that's a good one. I think I would definitely say go to YouTube first. And although, like, you know, it only has like my last two music videos and then like a concert that I did on there, I
Mm-hmm.
think like really what people, when you have fans, they don't only just connect with you because you're talented or like you have good music. Like that's the start of it. But like
Mm-hmm.
they really connect with you because they see who you are, they see your growth. And like I think one of the good things about what we did is like we put it all out there, mistakes and all. Like that's where we started and this is where we are now. And I even go back and listen to it. And I still cringe at the same mistakes and stuff like that. But like I love to show the real. Like this is really where I started and this is where I am. And I think that as a fan, just for you to see that and be able to like travel on a journey with me, that's dope. Like that's more dope than just
Absolutely.
saying, "Oh, I listened to her songs." Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would say go to my YouTube and go to my social media. That's where you can like really get to know me as a person and who I am outside of just music. So yeah, that would be my recommendation first. But I would say go listen to all of it: music, concerts, everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everything.
Yeah, that'll come in, the whole nine will come in due time. But that's
Yeah,
what you were saying definitely separates people who are fans versus people who are supporters. You know, when you got those fans, sometimes they might be with you for a good minute, but sometimes
yeah,
fans fade away. But those supporters, people who really indulge in being an actual supporter and being there for you and being there for your journey, they're here to stay. So that's how you get
for
the,
sure.
that's kind of how you differentiate. And time is running short on this little chat room, this Zoom meeting that we're in. So before we
Yeah, it's
leave up
dope
out of here, I know it was a great interview. It was good hearing about your journey. So
for
before we
sure.
get up out of here, just let people know where they can follow you, where they can find your music, and what's next for you.
Yeah, for sure. So like everything, I made it real simple for y'all because I wasn't trying to be difficult. You know what I'm saying? So everything is
Uh-huh.
Talasia Music. If you go to Facebook, it's Talasia Talasia, Talasia like Asia, and music spelled exactly how it's supposed to be spelled, Music. Talasia Music. Instagram at Talasia Music. YouTube Talasia Music. Twitter Talasia Music. TikTok Talasia Music. Everywhere is the same thing. Real simple for you guys. Follow me on there and literally stay tuned. We got so many things coming. We're dropping two more singles this year. One of them is a feature with a really big gospel artist that I wish I could spill the beans about, but I can't yet. But stay tuned for that.
Oh
We're
yes,
dropping
absolutely.
music videos, concerts coming, a whole lot. So I'm excited about it. We're working hard. And yeah, I look forward to like meeting y'all, meeting new people. And I thank you for even like having me on here talking with me. It's been so dope. And I really
Thank you
enjoyed
for
this
taking the
interview.
time out. It's very
For
much
sure. For
appreciated. And it
sure.
was like I said multiple times today. It's good hearing about your story. And it's so many places where you can take it to. You got full belief in your journey. And all the things that you want to do, you can do it. Just like we talked about manifestation, you can make it happen for sure. So it was
For
great
sure.
hearing about you. And so for
Thank you so,
everybody
so
who out
much.
there listening, make sure y'all connect and get a breath of fresh air tuning in to Talasia. So I'm gonna be on the
Thank
lookout for
you.
everything you got going on too.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
sure.
thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
It's appreciated. And shout out Erica and I in the formula. I appreciate it to the
In the
fullest. Thank you.
formula.
Oh yes,
Yes.
absolutely. But yeah, it was good hearing about your story, and best of luck to you out there and keep pushing forward.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this connection. This conversation was dope. And yeah, I look forward to speaking to you in the future.
Oh yes, absolutely. So I'll be in touch with you. Have a good evening, all right?
You too.
All right, thank you.